Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Excuse me. Today's date, it is November 26th. It is 9 a.m. in the morning. It's a Tuesday. I am using, I believe, this is the Avery Media camera, which has been really good for a lot of videos that I've made and whatever. But this one I've had hooked up a long time, but this is the Razer camera here, and it really does good video. I'm just not sure I'm using I'm having problems. I've been having problems. I'm having problems. My computer system's having problems. Problems in River City. I'm not sure where I'm going to upload this video. I have a YouTube site that I've had since 2005 when YouTube began. I was one of the people in 2005, their first year. But I was doing videos, and I was even doing streaming videos. Well, I was, back from the very beginning, way back. When there was CompuServe and America Online, I think it was. So I think they beat me. But other than that, I've been around a long time, and maybe too long. I think, and I'm sure probably a person should never diagnose yourself or, leave that to doctors and people like that, people that know what they're doing, not to a night watchman. I think, however, that I have Alzheimer's. And I worked hospital security for 30 years. In addition to my working hospital security for 30 years, I was a reserve police officer for years and years. I patrolled every Sunday night. And then, of course, occasionally the police department asked me to come in, and then they would pay me. They would pay me for working a shift, different shifts, But I see we've got some here. That's okay. Yeah, getting reflection. These are I had not long ago. An operation on both eyes to fix my, what would that be? Well, to fix my eyes, and I ended up with 20/20 vision. Now I'm, how old am I? Because that's just the reason I've decided that I have Alzheimer's is, I was telling people, and you may even see a video you might see a video I made a month ago or 2 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. And I probably mentioned, okay, well, let's see, I'm 73 years of age. And then within the last couple months or something or other, I found out that I'm in my 80s. This is weird, But of course I'm familiar with Alzheimer's. My mother had Alzheimer's. And we were lucky as a family, though, that we didn't have the problems that a lot of people have when they have somebody who has Alzheimer's. It can be really rough on a family, rough on the patient, rough on your family member, but it can be rough on, the family big time. Uh, we live here in Fort Worth, Texas. And my ex-wife and I, we've been divorced forever. Well, we got married, she was 18, I was 26, we got married. We were married for a total of 12 years. And then there was a period in there where, like, I didn't talk to her for 10 years. I didn't even talk to her, and then, we're not back together, but we're sharing this apartment with my grown son for financial reasons. So, but anyway, recently, and I'm not sure when, how long, but at some point, I think I have now entered Alzheimer's world. Alzheimer's sounds like it ought to be a food or a drink or something. Have you noticed, by the way? Okay, now you're gonna. Okay, I've just told you that I think I have Alzheimer's. Actually, I've said in the last few days, the last week or two, that I have Alzheimer's. And my oldest daughter, she, said, "Well, what doctor did you talk to?" And blah 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 blah. And I said, "Oh my God, yeah, I saw my doctor about a. Oh, by the way, I saw my doctor for my regular physical checkup. I like her a lot. Been going to her for quite a few years, and I saw her back about a month or so ago, and as I was there talking to her, and I think as I left or something like that, she said, "Okay, your next appointment, it'll be in February of let's see, what year did I say this was? In February, anyway, of whatever year this is." And I said, "Well, I can't believe that." I was telling her, I can't, I can't believe that I'm 73 years of age. I never thought I would make it to, 73 years of age and everything. And she didn't say anything. And then I came home. Now, my ex-wife and I, were divorced many years ago. We never, we never fought, never argued, or anything like that. But we share the apartment here, and we get along okay. I mean, as well as you can with a ex-wife or ex-husband or something. But we get along okay. But she watches her television. She's in a wheelchair. She had polio when she was 5. She's in her wheelchair. She's been she wasn't in a wheelchair. She had polio when she was 5. She had to wear braces. She, whatever. And then when we were married, she was able to get around, in the houses that we lived in and everything. She could, move through the house or, occasionally hold the wall or something like that after we were divorced. And much later on, when we were no longer married, she has to use a wheelchair. She's either in her bed or in her wheelchair. She's in her bed when she goes to the living room where her computer is set up. I got her set up in a nice, she likes this really wide screen, and then she likes everything full, blast. I never use her computer, for any reason, because she's got, but anyway, so got sidetracked. But so everything's going okay, except she plays simple games, not Civilization 6. That's about the only game I ever played, really, except when the kids were little and we were married. We had several, game machines or whatever, and the kids, played those and that type of stuff. But she orders the food. She takes care of ordering the food here and making the food and all that type of stuff. Anyway, she plays her games on her computer, and she watches the TV, her big screen TV, which she paid for. It goes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And she watches these shows, and then she also watches the game shows and whatever. She's watching ones that were made years ago because you can watch those. You can pull those up, and she does that. So it goes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So now we talk, we talk about our grown son, talk about, we got Hillary, one of our daughters is going to come over, we hope, because she lives close by, and she used to live in the same apartment complex. But we're hoping she's coming over Friday for Thanksgiving. But anyway, I got sidetracked again. Darlene watches her television set and watches it 24/7. She goes to sleep with a remote control in her hand. She'll wake up, and pull back up, and then she goes to sleep immediately or whatever. But then she watches. The point being, we don't communicate. We talk. We do talk all the time, about the cats that come to the door. We had a cat that she really loved and I liked a lot that passed away on us, I don't think we'll ever have another cat. But we've got two or three cats that come to the door, and I put the food out for them and stuff like that. And occasionally they come into the place, but so Darlene and I talk about stuff. But like when I was at the doctor's office last month, and I have to go back February for my, every 6 months. Well, it's more than that. Every 4 months now I go. I'm old. But when I was at the doctor's office the last time here, when I was there, I told the doctor, I said, I never thought I'd be 73 years of age. I never thought I'd make it this far. And she says, yes, yeah, you're, and my blood work and all that is much, it's good. I actually moved out of, they had me in the diabetic range just barely years ago. My blood sugar was just always, when I'd go to the doctor, just a few more points. And one doctor that I went to, I think he wanted to sign me up as a diabetic patient. I think he got some kind of money from, the company, because they signed somebody up in their, whatever, and then eventually I did it, kicked over just barely into being the diabetic range, and he was just, you're diabetic now, I'll go get you this stuff, and he brought back the stuff. Luckily I didn't have to stay with him very long, that doctor. I mean, actually he's, one of the doctors in the place I go, but I go to actually another doctor. But I actually have now, I came out, I stayed right, I never advanced very far in the, the thing, but I just actually moved out of the, out of the diabetic range. the doctor said I could stop taking the medicine and that type of stuff. But anyway, when I got sidetracked again, I need to rig up something where you guys could, I could put something on me or whatever, and you guys, when I start rambling or, hit me with a joke or something. Well, that might not be a good idea. I have a pacemaker in me. Maybe it would not be a good idea having electricity running through me to get me back on the track. I'll just have to try harder. But, so anyway, when I, about a month ago, I went and my doctor said, okay, we got you off, you're not diabetic anymore and blah, 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 blah. And then I said, I can't believe that I'm, 73 years of age and I never thought I'd live this long. Now, before I started talking, I mentioned that on YouTube videos here and stuff like that I'm like 73 or whatever whatever. So then when I came home, I told the ex-wife when I got home, well, I'm back from the doctors and everything went okay and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I told the doctor, that I can't believe it. I'm 73 years of age. She never said anything. About a month, well, fairly recently, about a month ago or whatever, no less than that. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago or something. She said, you're not 73. And I said, yeah, I'm 73. She said, no, you're, I forget now what she said. I'm 83 or something like that. So the point being, here we talk back and forth, and I say things like that. She tunes out anything that's political. And I don't blame her, especially with Donald Trump being elected. Anything about politics, God, nobody wants to hear about politics now. One of our daughters has a dual citizenship, and she spent many years in Sweden. She's a Swedish citizen, so she's got a bunch of animals that cats mainly, that she takes care of. She loves cats and dogs and stuff like that. And she's, but, there's somebody who could get out of the United States. She could go to Sweden, and we'd miss her, though. She's been a big help, not a big help, but she's been a help to us. But anyway, my point being, Darlene and I talk about, food, especially because she wants to talk about food. I'm just, I've got stuff regular, and she buys the food, she orders the food. She asks me what I want. She asks me every day when I want, but, so, anyway, I spent 30 years working hospital security, and during 30 years I worked hospital security. For many years I was a reserve police officer every Sunday night. And during my 30 years of hospital security, I also worked, part-time job most of that time. And so I worked a full-time job, part-time job, etc., etc. But I should make this. How long has this video been? Wait a minute here. Oh, it's only 19 minutes. It seems like, even to me, it seems like longer. Anyway, I'm using, by the way, I can't read this, it's upside down. I have a bunch of cameras here. I've been big into cameras from the very beginning of the early days of computers. Anyway, I've got I have a bunch of videos here on YouTube. I'm not sure where I'm going to upload this video, if I can upload it. I'm running Linux and it's been giving me some problems. Although I've used Linux off and on for years. I've been online since about 2005. And before that I was, doing a radio program for a year or so that was broadcast over shortwave radio. And I did that. I've just been active in a whole lot. Ground Observer Corps when I was in high school. I was in high school too when I was a member of the Civil Defense, and I was trained to be a radiological monitor, which I'm glad that didn't, well, it hasn't transpired yet. Well, I've forgotten I don't have any, and you don't want somebody that possibly has Alzheimer's to be out there with a Geiger counter telling you whether it's safe to go leave the shelter or something or other. I've done a lot of things. One of the founders of the Greenpeace organization. No, not Greenpeace. Not Peace Corps. Anyway, I've done a lot. Tractor satellites. I'm an amateur radio operator, and before that I was a shortwave listener and just all kinds of stuff. And so you're going to find a bunch of that here on. I've had people in the past. There was one time long time ago, in the early days. There was several places that like sites. Not sure we called them blogs or what they were called then, but there were some people who would review your site for you. And so I had 2 people do it. And they were correct about the things they said about, like, my color. This guy, this guy says he's been around since, 2005. That doesn't make sense because he can't get the colors right on his, on his screens or whatever. They're not the way they should be, and all this kind of, they were correct, but, what I wanted to mention was, like, the one reviewer who said, all he talks about is his wife, or was it the ex-wife? I can't remember. Then this other person, at a slightly different time, did a review, and the reviews are very much similar. And this person said all he talks about is his job and his grievances that he does and that kind of stuff, Yeah. My life, changes and things change. Yeah, I talked a lot about, many things, and so anyway, you'll find, anyway, I have a YouTube site set up here, and there's about over 2,000 videos on there starting in 2005. And then I guess as my brain is going, I had some trouble, so I have set up another site, a YouTube site. So I'd like for all of you who are over there to come to this site, maybe go to both sites. I'd also like to get all the videos that I made that are over on that other side. I'd like to get them over on this side. I'd also like to get in there and delete a whole bunch of, because when I was making YouTube videos, things happened that I comment about and talked about, and then, 6 months later, that story is forgotten, and it doesn't make any sense talking about, things were settled, but sometimes settled the way I thought they would be settled, and sometimes not settled. So anyway, I'm going to try to upload this video to my old site, Well, I'm going to upload this to my news site because I want to get as many as you. I want to, please come over to the news site, but also go to look at those videos. Anyway, give a thumbs up, subscribe, give me your recommendations, and I hope that I hope if I do have Alzheimer's, which I think I do, hope I'm saying the right name. Oh, and working my 30 years hospital security, I had to deal with Alzheimer's patients all the time. Nursing unit would call and say, "Could you come up, Jim? We need help with this patient or that patient." I'd be working, hospital security. I'd be working hospital security. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember on a couple occasions looking out into the parking lot of the hospital, and I'd see some elderly person with a gown flapping, be below zero, temperature at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I'd see somebody coming out of fire exit, no shit. Go out and get that person back upstairs with the patient. So yeah, but I hope that that if I do have Alzheimer's, which I think I do, the reason I'm saying now is I informed my oldest daughter. It seems like we have 4 children. It seems like my oldest daughter and I mean, they all have my DNA. But several of the things that I've had, she's had. So I hope, that down the road a piece, but I think I got sidetracked again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.